All right, here's our video today. Surviving 10 seconds, only 10 seconds on the moon without a spacesuit. And so we have our couple that took a honeymoon to the moon, let's say, and they forgot their spacesuit. So, see, they seem pretty happy, right? But actually, just the blunt answer to this is you probably will not survive 10 seconds. And I'll go over why in this video. So one, we can say a vacuum. The moon is not exactly a vacuum, but it's effectively a vacuum. So because it has a very thin atmosphere. So basically there's no oxygen. So we say there's no oxygen. But that's not why you will, not survive in 10 seconds. You will, without oxygen, you will be unconscious within 10 to 15 seconds, but you probably could survive for another 3 minutes without the oxygen. So it's not the oxygen that's not going to make you survive for 10 seconds. There's also ebullition. I'll write that down, fancy word, ebullition. And this is going to happen because the very low pressure on the moon, and basically ebullition is said basically twice, it's the boiling of bodily fluid. Not a pleasant thing, right? So basically your tears, your saliva, the water in your tissues, they will boil. They will boil because of the low pressure on the moon, extremely low pressure. So that's not a good thing. But even that you can survive for at least more than 10 seconds for that. Then there's air expulsion. And what's going to happen here because of ebullition? The air in your lungs is going to rapidly expand and be forced out. So, without the oxygen, you'll pass out. And of course, you'll pass out faster without that oxygen going to the brain. And of course, probably within maybe 1 to 2 to 3 minutes, you will not survive. But the thing that will actually kill you the quickest, within probably 5 seconds, not even 10 seconds, is the moon's extreme temperature. The moon has very extreme temperature swings. So on the moon itself, it's about 14 days of sunlight and then 14 days of nighttime, right? So a day on the moon is about 29, say about 30 Earth days. So say 14 and a half days of sunlight. But so on the moon, you can reach temperatures of 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 121 degrees Celsius. At those temperatures, and by the way, it's not going to get anything less than 200. So you're going to get third-degree burns. In fact, your whole skin will char. Your epidermis, your dermis, down to the bones, you will burn very quickly, probably within 5 seconds. And that shock alone of those extreme burns, and then again, you'll probably be unconscious anyway, but that extreme shock, the fact that you also are losing oxygen and your bodily fluids are boiling, you'll probably die within 10 seconds. So if we say biological death, where all vital functions are and the brain is damaged, it could occur within 2 to 3 minutes if it wasn't for this extreme heat on the lunar surface. Now you might be asking, well, the Apollo astronauts, they landed on the moon. They didn't have that extreme heat. Well, they did have that heat, but then again, they had spacesuits that protected them, and they also were not out at mid-moon day, not Earth day, because again, there isn't 6 hours of daylight and 12 hours of daylight on the moon. There's 14 days of daylight. So just to review, you will lose consciousness within 10 to 15 seconds. You probably will lose consciousness even faster than that, within 5 seconds, because of the extreme heat. Air will be expelled from your body very quickly. Your blood will boil. And with that extreme shock, with those burns, you could be dead within 5 seconds. But maybe you'll get to 10. The lesson learned for this couple heading to the moon is bring your spacesuit or find a better world to have your honeymoon, like Earth.